Is anyone there? It's me. Can you still hear me, Nat? Kale? Snargle? Art? Jack? Gwen? Is anyone out there? I think I'm dying. I always thought I'd be scared of dying. Because I was scared of the loneliness for so long. Then I heard your music, Nat. I think I'm more scared of what will happen to all of you if I go. Been here so long. Don't remember what I was before this. But I've liked watching what you all become. Hope this reaches you wherever you are. I hope you are safe and warm. I hope you are with family. I can't remember mine. Caw Legion, for the last time, welcome to Tales from the Grim and the finale of Wild Blue Yonder, our Lady Blackbird campaign. At least the finale of Season 1. I'm Lauren, your totally pro-smooch navigator for this evening's adventure, along with these very thirsty and not at all tense players. Nobody here is tense, especially not me. Let's meet them, starting with someone who has never given anyone a smooch in his life and has never given me anything nice at all. Greg. Who are you? Who do you play? How do you feel?
I feel awesome, Lauren. I am so happy and psyched to be here. This is upbeat. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm playing Cyrus Vance, Captain of the Owl. And boy, oh boy, do we have some shenanigans to get into tonight. Let's go, crew. Back to you, Lauren.
It feels so aggressive for some reason. Serena. My darling Serena, please help.
Hi, I'm Serena Marie. I play your first mate and mechanic, Kale Arkham. I'm excited. It's Monday. It's now my favorite day of the week. I am not scared or nervous or sad a little. No, none of those things. None of those things are true about me.
See, I believe that. That felt genuine. It felt heartfelt. Unlike some people I know. Alice! Dear Alice, hi. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Wait, it's genuinely been long time no see.
It actually has this time, yeah. And
I hate it.
Lost one for a long time. So, yeah.
I'm in denial.
Yeah, same. I am playing Snargle. I play the good little goblin boy. I didn't intend to be a good little goblin boy, but he is the pilot of this ship, and he is not terrified. I am slightly nervous, yes, but both excited for the last episode and also very sad that it is the last episode. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yay. That's good. Who's next? I think it's Kiana. Kiana, how are you feeling?
Man, we just had the this season penultimate for our other Lady Blackbird campaign, and we're going into this, and I'm just like, why are we leaving the blue? But whatever happens, we're gonna go out however we decide to go out here. It's our finale. Fuck it. We're gonna do something. And hopefully be badass. And maybe get some smooches. I don't know. But I play Artemis Walker, who is loyal valet of the Blackbird household. Passenger? Question mark. Trying to be friends with everybody. Trying. And it's just here to help out. Although she's currently wearing Nat's face right now, and that's a little weird, so. Yeah.
Good. Confidence. Good. Good. Tommy. Hey.
Hey.
How's our good boy?
Our good boy is he's in an interesting place right now. I think he's made some decisions about himself and his life, and we'll see where those pan out this session. He's definitely a little nervous, but this could be a great storybook ending, one way or another.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm. Either we all die, or we finally get smooches, one or the other.
Either way, that's a nice bow on it, you have to admit.
Yeah, I think the chances are more like, 85% we all die, 15% we smooch. But I am excited.
Look, I know which I'm pulling for. Anyway, for anyone new joining us tonight for the finale, this is the Lady Blackbird system by John Harper. Instead of stats, you've got traits and tags, and the number of applicable tags for the given task determines the number of dice you roll when trying to meet the difficulty level that I set. There, nailed it. More dice, the better your chance of success. If you look below, you'll see our donation options, which give everyone watching at home the chance to seriously impact the narrative, whether you'd like to help or complicate the outsiders' lives one last time. The wild blue is breathable. The depths below it are not. The Empire rules, even on the free worlds. The solar system is small, taking only 6 weeks to cross. Beyond it is the void with its purplish tint. Magic, also known as essence, is rare and coveted and powers pretty much everything in the blue. The largest source of it is the star at the center of the system, known affectionately as Stella, and she is dead. Now for a recap. Father and daughter held guns on each other. Daughter was pulled away from father yet again. Snargle tracked one of the Imperial ships they'd previously encountered. Kaelin confessed her connection with High Commander Cross to Artemis, who comforted her. The owl arrived at the station above Vulcanus, a station with a hub closer to Stella than any other structure in the blue. A station with an annex that seemed connected to the star herself. Vance went ahead of the rest of the crew, leaving word that he could not lose any more children. He contacted Cross as he floated above the hub in the freezing cold and threatened to kill everyone inside should she not send out his daughter. She agreed. A man with dark spectacles and a crow emblem on his clothing, whom Vance recognized from a nightmare, emerged with Gwen, who was deep in the throes of fighting the technology this man had embedded in her long ago. She reached up for her true father's hand. Meanwhile, the crew of the Owl planned to simply walk aboard the Imperial structure at Cross's invitation. The High Commander seemed genuinely pleased and relieved at this, telling Nat he would be like the heroes in the books he read. Art used her changeling abilities to disguise herself as Nat. As the Owl approached, Stella went dark. So, darkness swallows the blue, with the exception of a tiny pinprick of light known as the Owl. The darkness persists. 1 beat, 2, 3, and then everyone, including Vance, it's not like you hear this, it's like you can feel it in your bones as a scream from the hub rings out, and that structure fires back to life. Much more muted light emanating from it, but that scream is still ringing. And Nat recognizes it. Looking at this light, Kale, you'd probably know it's the kind of power a backup generator might provide. So, in these few beats of silence and darkness, and in this moment when light returns, muted light, but light all the same, what does the crew of the Owl do?
That isn't good.
No, I think, so is there the dim muted light? Is it enough to read? Like, is it bright enough to, like, a reading light?
The owl actually seems to be mostly unaffected, but the hub, the structure that you're heading to dock at, has that dim light.
Okay. I'm gonna get out my book that was given to me, and I'm gonna kind of just real quick, as I think we're gonna dock soon or go to the thing soon, but I just kind of want to like look at this book to see if there was anything, because I know my mother was studying Stella, and if there's any mention to this at all.
Sure. Absolutely. Let's see what you'd be able to find. Why don't you go ahead and make a roll? Again, it's not that you can't read, it's that you're doing it quickly and it's in jargon that's a little out of your usual zone. So we'll just kind of do levels of success with it.
Okay. I don't know if I have anything that can help me. Okay, I'll just use tricky. So I have tricky.
And one just cuz.
One just cuz. Quick, because I'm doing it fast.
And
that might be it. Yeah. So I'm gonna use auto success.
Alrighty.
And what was the difficulty level?
I'm just seeing your levels of success for how much information you can get, so we don't need to worry about a difficulty level.
Cool.
I think you had more than that. I think you should have 3 that you're rolling.
Okay.
So you can re-roll that. Actually, you have an advantage to use anyway, so you can roll twice more, and then we'll add your auto success.
Okay.
Aha! Nice. All right. Cool. And then with your auto success, that's 3. So what specifically are you looking for in here?
Well, I know that she was studying about, I think you mentioned something about her, what happens to her, or that she's dying. I want to look into how she's dying, and is there a way to stop it, or is there a way to like, turn her back on, or?
There's a lot in here, and you're looking for this in a short amount of time, but what you do find, especially with 3 total successes, a lot of this is musings on the possible sentience of Stella. Some accounts of people hearing a voice that they attribute to her, or seeing visions, things like that. You do notice, even as old as this is, your adopted mother was writing about overmining a lot. She didn't name the planet, though. Now, with all the information you have, you could probably say this was Volcanus. But that basically Stella was being drained at a rapid rate. And it's not common knowledge that essence could run out, but that's what your mother seems to think was happening, is overtaxation of the star. And as well, you would also find that your adopted mother thought that there was some kind of core that some kind of core at the center of the star that she thought was the way to possibly, it's where the star was drawing its power from. The star is very large, but nobody can really see the center of it. Mostly what you just see is that kind of cold silvery light. Interestingly though, your mother definitely seems to talk more about Stella as if they were a person as opposed to something like a rock.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that right now we're all trying to go get Vance, right? That's what the game plan was from before. Or was it to meet, oh no. Was it to meet Cross? Oh God, I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Help.
It was both. Like,
Mhm.
the plan was so the initial plan was to go get Vance, but then like we could use Cross wanting Nat to sort of gain easier entry. Speaking of which, I think Nat speaks up at this point. He's like, think that perhaps the rest of us should hide, perhaps in one of your secret compartments that I'm not sure that, well, they don't know you're on board. Speaking of which, Arch, won't they find it a bit strange that only I come out of the ship alone?
I think that Commander Cross would understand if I didn't want to see her.
Okay, I trust you on that. But don't put yourself in too much danger. I don't know what she wants, but they want something real bad.
I know. We'll make sure that everyone stays safe. Gives a look to each of them. Wearing Nat's face is a little weird because you can see Artemis' expression, but it's through Nat's face.
It's the first time you've seen Nat look like just kind of like
Yeah.
Then we should hide, I suppose.
Well, follow me. I have a couple of, and Kale starts knocking on the wall, like on the up part of the wall, and finds like a hollow spot and pulls it down, and it's sort of just like a small crawl space. It's it can fit a lot of people. It's like a flat crawl space, like what an air duct would be, and it might have been before, but has been altered to be a hidey space.
And who's getting in here? We have Nat and Snargle.
I think Snargle would follow in after Nat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting in there too.
Yeah, before Nat goes up though, he'll go over to Art and he'll hold his arms out. He won't hug her, but he'll make the eyes. He'll make the big puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, Art. You'll see the face drop for a second. And yeah, she'll hug.
Nat goes in for a tight hug. I'll see you at the end of this.
We'll make sure of it.
And then Nat will head up.
And Kale.
Yep. I
Great.
go up and I as I go up, I pull the ladder or like the bar shut so it looks like as it was before.
Great. So we have those 3 line and wait. I assume Art is going to dock Owl as Nat. I'm excited. So before we cut away, yeah, let's do the docking. Once you get close enough, it's relatively easy. It's well marked. You have no interference, obviously, and you are connected to the hub. What do?
Artemis will kind of shake herself out a bit and make sure that the gun is hidden by the coat that she has hiding there, and relax herself and stand like Nat would. Like she's observed for 10 years at this point. Out of all the faces and stuff, even though she's never put it on before, she knows Nat very well.
You do. You absolutely do. But someone knows you very well.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do a roll.
Okay.
To see how well you are disguised.
Okay. So
one of these, this is for more than one person. So one of these you could fool with a difficulty 4 because it's finale, and the other you'd need a 5.
Okay. So 1 just because. Changeling.
Yes.
Convincing.
Yes.
Feign ability.
What? What'd you say?
Feign ability.
Oh, feign, like Feign. Nice.
Imitate.
Sure.
Indistinguishable. Replace.
Yeah, sure. What ability are you feigning?
To carry myself as a noble.
I like it. Cool. So we've got 7.
I believe I have a couple of.
You have 5 auto successes. If you need to use them, tell me now.
Let's put in 3 of those.
Oh my god. Okay. So you only need to roll 2 successes to make this happen.
Okay. So that is 7. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm glad I did that.
Yep. The most convincing Natalia Syrie impression the Blue has ever seen.
I mean, when you've been by somebody's side for 10 years, you know a lot of their habits.
Great. I can't wait to see this impression.
Oh boy.
So as the ramp descends, you are met with, again, that dim light. It seems like everything is running on a thread. You can immediately tell as you see the couple of dozen Imperial soldiers waiting at the bottom of the ramp that nerves are high.
Yep, clearly.
Yeah. And your good friend, High Commander Seraphina Cross, looking, is standing amidst them. And when she sees you, or sees Nat rather, she bows slightly. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Commander Cross. And we'll step off the ship and make her way down.
Well, I'm surprised it's just you.
Well, Artemis thought it would be a good idea to stay on the ship and make sure everything was taken care of.
Oh, yes, some of the soldiers will also stay here and make sure nothing happens to your ship.
Seems like a lot of soldiers around.
We needed the personnel for what we have been trying to accomplish.
Right, well, lead the way.
She nods and begins to lead you away. As you are going, we'll say about, let's split them. Half of the soldiers, so we'll say a dozen, are leaving with you, and the other half are staying behind in this room. And as you round the corner, you see coming out of one room, not in the best of states, is the rather unfortunate looking Captain Micah Hunter. Seraphina smiles when she sees him. Again, that look of genuine relief and happiness on her face that you are not used to seeing, but her eyes light up when she sees Micah, and he joins the retinue that's escorting Nat.
Artemis is not showing up, but she is freaking out inside.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's who hired Micah. Of course.
Do you think that you need to, roll to keep your cool, Kiana?
Fuck me. If I'm to be completely honest, yes, because her whole thing is that strong emotions is what breaks it.
Right. Honesty is the best policy.
Fuck me.
I'm only going to make this a 3.
Okay.
Because you've run into him before now, but still.
Yeah, okay. I would argue that it's the same kind of role again because it's just trying to upkeep the
Sure.
this
Yeah.
guy's.
So 1 just cuz, changeling.
Yeah, and changeling again. Convincing, feignability, imitate, indistinguishable, replace. I'm gonna try that again.
Okay. Nice. So how does Art keep it together?
She just focuses, does that thing where you just really intently focus on just the one spot way in front of you. Just feel like, okay, I'm just gonna look really intently ahead.
Mm-hmm. He turns to you. He's we'll say he's right by your side, I think.
Of course he is.
And kind of not looks down at you because Nat is very tall, but it's nice to formally meet you, Lord Blackbird. I'm sorry about the way things went down on Nightport.
It's quite all right. If ended up fine at the end.
It certainly did.
And your name?
Captain Micah Hunter.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm actually old friends with one of your companions.
Oh. That's... Haven't heard of that before.
Yeah, well, she always liked to play things a little, close to the vest, if you know what I mean.
Just nod and not look at him.
The other one, the scrappy one. I'm wondering if you know whether or not she has an item of mine.
I can't say I know what you're talking about.
Well, that's all right. He just continues walking in silence. Alrighty. Before we see what the heck the three in the crawl space are doing, we have to rewind time just a little bit. In the darkness above the station, as the cold, cold air of the blue whips around you, Captain Vance, you hear this man across the way from you mutter, "Interesting," as Gwen was reaching her hand up to you. The only source of light around you at this moment comes from a small cylinder he has in his hand, which he seems to be, at least from the passing of shadow over it, seems to be he seems to be fiddling with it. It's dark for 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beats.
He's gonna take her. If I have an opening here, he's taking Gwen's hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving down. Let me rephrase. He is, because he's floating about an inch above, keeping his flight active, and he's going to basically interpose himself between, Captain Douchebag and his daughter.
Okay, so are you reaching for her hand still, or just moving?
Now, as soon as she made the motion that she was going to take it, he's going to float down and kind of shoulder around and put her behind him.
Okay. You can hear her ragged breathing still as the lights of the station power back up, though much more muted than they were. And you can see the man across the way is fiddling with this cylinder and seems intrigued, though not worried as of yet. So you are now interposed between him and Gwen. What are you doing?
Thank you. I'm going to take my daughter now.
I'm afraid that will not be possible. Or at the very least, it will be extremely difficult for you.
What makes you say that?
And he kind of cocks his head as he finishes with the cylinder. And from behind you, you hear the ragged breathing stop. And he just gestures with his free hand.
Vance will look over his shoulder.
Gwen is standing rigid. She is facing you now. She has a weapon drawn much like yours, and is pointing it at your head.
Okay, to recap, Vance is floating an inch above the ground. He is dressed like he was, so she would remember him. Looks younger. And he also does not look worried. He turns back to CD. Is that then how you control her? The cylinder there?
It's the quickest way at this range.
Seems like shoddy science.
This doesn't have to get ugly.
Oh, it already is. This is the second time you've had my daughter pull a gun on me. It's gonna get real ugly.
Well, I'm sure we can all agree it will most certainly be the last time. And Gwen is going to fire.
It's gonna pass right through him because he's been intangible the whole time, burning hours off his life to maintain the ruse. Now, can you do that? And if you can, how long can you? And as soon as the first shot goes off, he's gonna launch into the air and gun this motherfucker down with everything I've got. And I'm shooting the cylinder first.
Okay, so let's do that. Good.
I like Last Jedi. I thought what Luke did at the end was...
What are we? Yeah, I do too. Okay, let's do it. Here's a question. To do this, not just with rolls, to do this, I would assume that you have to become tangible.
Yeah, that's why he's getting height.
Gotcha.
I figure the only one holding anything is the guy holding the bright cylinder. I can shoot a bright cylinder. They can't see me real well when I hit the darkness.
Gotcha. Great. Cool. So I want to do a couple things here. Yay. I want to, because you're flying, I want to do one. Let's just do the shot for now, since you are becoming tangible. We'll just make this, I don't know, it's finale. Let's just make it a 4. You have so many gun things.
Okay. I'm going to use 1 just because, 2 for warrior, 3 for battle hardened, 4 for shooting, 5 for 2-gun style, 6 for pistol, 7 for hail of lead, and I have to get 4.
Yeah, because
Well, it is the finale. I'll use 4 auto successes. Let's just do that.
Up his sleeve, you know what I'm saying?
I know. I'll just use 4 auto successes. It's the finale, everybody. Let's just make sure we do it. I was told to use those. You
were. You're very good that way. Wow. All right. Describe this for me.
He's going to shoot the cylinder, and then with the other 17,000 bullets that come out of his gun, he is going to shoot whatever was holding the cylinder with extreme prejudice.
Fantastic. As the interesting. Okay. So, as the first few bullets fire, They, as you're coming out of this intangible state, they seem to still be retaining some of that. And those first ones, actually, they hit true. You see the cylinder go flying out of this man's hand as a shimmer pops in front of him. But those first few shoot the cylinder, and the next 2 or 3 will say you see them pepper his body before you're fully tangible, and the remaining bullets seem to bounce off whatever this is. The man crumples over in pain. You can see him bleeding from the knees. There's one near the stomach, it looks like, another in the shoulder. The shimmer still stands. It seems to be a circle around the hatch that he and Gwen rose out of. But he looks extremely surprised at this. And he spits some blood out onto the metal. He looks up at you. Well, you were in my way before, Brannigan. I thought I got rid of you. And now you're in the way of the entire blue.
I'm like a bad copper piece.
You could be responsible for the deaths of thousands on thousands of people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I leave you the impression that I was still listening? As soon as you said that you were going to have my daughter kill me, I stopped paying attention to you. How is Gwen?
She hasn't shot at you again, but she seems a bit frozen in that tension again, as she's still pointing the weapon at you.
He's going to like move, and is she tracking him with the gun?
Yes.
Then he's going to come directly up to her, tangible, and allow the gun to press into his chest. I didn't know, but I am here now. That man is alive, and I mean to leave him alive. But I'm also giving you a choice. And he takes one step back, so he's parallel with the down man. Gwen can decide who she needs to shoot.
Crew of the Owl.
Hi.
Hey, what are you all doing?
So, the crawl space that Kale had invited them into, isn't just like, doesn't go to nowhere. She's she's in the back of them, so she's awkwardly trying to like snake her body past them, and she says, "Follow me. I have like I have a way out." Okay. And as she's like, because it's like kind of an army crawl situation in there. And she says, I know the plan was to wait quietly until we can find the captain and wait quietly, but if we go now, they won't expect us there. What do you think? She's crawling.
I like it.
I mean, I only wanted to wait until, Nat art. It's a little strange seeing myself. Very strange. Yeah, no, I just wanted to wait until she moved off and hopefully takes most of the guards with her and cross. So
Well, follow me.
This is I leave myself in your capable hands.
Snargle sort of gestures to Nat, it's just like, after you.
And Nat will follow Kale.
So as they're snaking through the owl, it's sort of like an oily, dingy tunnel. And what it was before is the owl has been repaired numerous times. And this was from one battle where the owl was actually sliced and we repaired around it. So as we're crawling through it, we reach sort of another panel. And as I push it, it makes this loud clang sound, but it's out into the blue.
So you're emerging kind of where the back of the ship sticks out into the blue.
Yeah.
Great. Love it. You will notice as you're doing this, it is freezing.
Okay.
Breathing is almost immediately hard out here.
Oh. Where is the ship in relation to where we are?
What ship?
Or where we're docking? Where are we docking?
Oh, so think of it as like a long space hallway. And the front of the owl is kind of pulled in partway like a window. So you're along the outside of this hall.
All right, Snargle, Nat, what do you think we should do? Now that we're out here, do we just jump out? Because I will just jump out.
And Snargle sort of
It's so cold.
feeling the temperature.
I don't know, get a jumper or something? Well, I don't think we got a lot of time.
No, I don't think so.
Run?
Run. On the
Run.
count of 3?
Okay, come on, Nat.
Okay.
it sort of holds its hand.
Okay, I guess that's the plan.
So are all of you running to kind of get in the hub or like along the side of it?
I would like to go onto the side of it. In theory, I'd like to just like crawl on the edge.
So you can like look through the windows basically
Yes.
outside.
Yes.
Good. We'll say yeah, there are some looking in from the top. So y'all can do that. Yeah. I'm gonna need everyone to make a roll because of the wind and the temperature just moving to where you want to go, doing it silently, which I assume is what you want to do. Nat, you will notice looking up into the kind of void space that you're so used to seeing the silvery light of the star is disturbing, not only because of the darkness, but it feels like you're being drawn to it, like physically. All of you can kind of feel this to a degree. So this roll is only going to be difficulty 3.
Okay.
You can use whatever you think applies.
I'm gonna use burglar.
Mm-hmm.
So
One
quiet.
just has burglar.
Quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Sneak.
Mm-hmm.
Hide.
Mm-hmm.
Dexterous.
Mm-hmm.
Perceptive. And darkness.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, that's 8.
Cool.
Nice. All right. And Nat and Snargle?
Snargle is not good at this.
There's Nat.
I was gonna use logic cause, sly, crafty, sneaky. I don't think disguise would work, so I think it's just 4.
Okay, would you like to add any from your pool or use any auto successes?
Yeah, I think I'll use an auto success because I don't want
Alright.
to fall.
So you just need 2.
Okay. Oh, thank
Got it.
Yay!
And good sweet Natalius.
Okay, I mean, he has a few things for this, but not a lot. He has one athletic run. I'm gonna go for, since we're sort of we're like climbing along the outside of this. I'm gonna go for acrobatic.
Sure.
So 4. I'm gonna use one auto success, and I'm gonna use 1 dice from my pool.
All right, so you're rolling with 5, and you only need 2 to succeed since you're using an auto success.
All right, come on. Really wish I would have taken fly with Master Sorcerer.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Whew.
We're doing it.
We're living on the edge here.
All right. So all of you are managing, even with this wind and this pull that you're all feeling a bit, though Nat is feeling it the most. You managed to crawl up the back of the owl and toward the space hallway, or the station rather, and you can position yourself to where you can actually look in to the space below, and you see dozens of armed Imperial soldiers.
It's fine. It's cool.
How long do you think we can? It's getting, and I think Nat is definitely visibly distracted. Like every so often, he'll look at sort of where the star should be. It's like, how long do you think we could stay out here? Could we go further and perhaps find somewhere else to enter?
I think getting behind them is a good idea. We can keep going through the bridge. We can get behind. Are they all facing the same direction, or what is like the?
There's a perimeter around the part of the owl that's inside, and there are a few just scattered throughout, kind of keeping an eye on the 2 ways out of this bay.
Oh no. Okay.
Yes?
Well, Serena has ideas, but I don't know if they're good ideas.
I encourage all ideas.
So I'm gonna say, y'all keep going. Go down the hall, okay? Go as far as you can and try to get into the ship. I will meet you there. And out of Kale's pocket, you see what looks like a very crudely put together, almost like a device, sort of. And it looks like it has like a chunk of like C4, like it is a bomb. She has a bomb. Ha!
Snargle sees this and sort of just puts a hand on Nat. He's like, come on, we're gonna want to move quickly, and just starts trying to.
Nat will like sort of resist for a moment. Be careful.
I will. I always am. And she like takes one of the bombs and she kind of like starts to stick it to the bottom of the bridge.
Okay, so you were on top of the station, so you're gonna be moving toward the bottom side?
Oh, so in my mind, I was, the dome was like this, and I was on the edge, towards the bottom already, and not on the top looking down. I was like sidling on the edge, but if I'm on top, then I just stick it on top.
Okay, cool. Perf.
Yeah.
Love. So Nat and Snargle are moving kind of more toward the star.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, along the top.
And I think we're probably trying to find a way in further down.
Cool. All right. You begin to move. Kale, how are you triggering this? Where are you going to trigger this from?
So on the top of the dome, is it all the way clear? Like, can they see me, or there's like a little walkway?
It's not all clear. It's there's space for you to move around.
Okay. So she takes a small, there's like almost like palm-sized bomb, and she sticks it down, and on it is a tiny little string, and she sticks another one down. They're all like the size of her palm, though, so they're little. So she sort of makes this like trail of 3 small bombs, and connected by a string, and she lights one end of the string and then just starts running.
In the direction that Nat and Snargle went?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay. Is bomb making something Kale does on the reg?
Well, she does make weapons.
Yes.
So I think that a smaller grenade, something that's not as complicated as like a nuclear whatever, that she probably wouldn't do something more high tech, but something like small and gritty. Like I think she's made like glass bombs that shatter and throw glass everywhere, or like little like tricky bombs. So the accumulation of 3 of them in a row, that's why she's trying to cause the big explosion of that.
Love it. I love it. This is perfect. That's right. You did also have a boom come in, so we'll see if we can do something extra spicy.
Yes.
So what is we're not going to roll for anything for this. What is the effect of this? Like what does it look like? What does it physically do?
So as the fire or the wick lights, it's almost like a spark light. So it's not just like a flame, it's like a spark, and it goes very, very quickly, and detonates 1 bomb, and it like blows up to a bright like orange color, like an orange flame, and it triggers the second one and the third one, and it just causes this like forceful shattering explosion.
You can feel it as you run. Did you light this with your magic?
I lit it with a match.
All right. It would be very difficult to do that in the environment you're in. You won't have to roll anything, but is it with magic, or are you gonna stay there for a while and just be behind?
I'm gonna use magic. I lit it with magic.
Awesome. Roll a d6.
Cool.
Spicy.
2.
Oh no, I just need you to roll 1d6.
Oh, I don't know how to do that in
I'll type it into Zoom for you. Just like that. Just pop that in the chat.
All right.
And call it out to me.
It is a 6.
Reroll.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Lauren, you had to put a reroll in here.
It is a 5.
Okay.
This is gonna be so bad. This is so bad. You're laughing so evilly. Oh no.
So this this triggering effect goes off exactly as you intend it to. And you can feel it as you turn. But when you turn, you see nothing.
God, I knew it.
Everything is black as the void where Stella once was, and you don't know where you are. So let's cut away. Matt and Snargle, you're running. You're looking for a place. You're ahead. How's it going?
Just running. I think Snuggle looks back every now and then just to see if Kale is sprinting towards them as well.
Mm-hmm. You don't see her right now. You see her working at it. You see her gearing up to light at this point. You do see another dome at a bend. And this could be an entry point, again, if you're going to break the glass. But if you look down, Snargle, are you behind or in front?
I'd say Snargle's in front because he kind of dragged Nat.
Yeah. You look down and you see 3 figures sitting in a room. All of them have dark black hair and gray eyes. There's a woman who looks to be in her early 30s, and 2 maybe teenagers that look like identical. And they're kind of huddled in a room. The older one is talking to them. The boy looks very nervous, and the other girl is just kind of looks annoyed. The older one looks scared, but like she's trying to calm them.
And he's sort of there like that, on top of the glass, looking, just, sort of looks at Nat, looks at them, and looks at Nat.
Snargle, what are you looking at? Is there a way in there?
I don't know.
As he sort of looks down and sort of gestures for you to come and have a look over.
Nat will pop his head over, and I suspect his eyes go big.
You see Beatrix, as well as your 2 younger siblings, Delilah and Leonard.
The hell are all of them? Shit. Pardon my language, Snargle.
Like comparing the appearances. He has no idea who these people are. Really.
Oh yeah, they look strikingly similar to Natalia's.
Which is why he keeps double checking, looking. He sort of moves Nat's face at one point just to have a look.
Yes, no, they're my. What? I didn't think they brought my younger siblings here.
Do we like them?
I think so. I'm pretty sure my younger siblings are good.
Okay.
I haven't seen my sister in a while, though she looks much worse from where I am worried about. Let's go in.
And Snuggle will first of all look around to see if there's anywhere they can just go in without without shattering glass or anything.
It doesn't look like it, not at this particular section.
Okay. And he looks back at Nat. He's like,
now, Kale's normally the one with the brains. I kind of just do what I'm told most of the time. I don't think we want to make too much of a kerfuffle.
Like, it's just gesturing at the whole...
And that's when you hear the explosion from behind you.
And he looks back at it.
Never mind.
And he's just gonna just take his gun and just try and smash through the glass.
Fantastic.
He's so weak.
I know you are. That's why we have to roll for it, because strength is not your thing. So let's see this real quick.
I don't even know what I can roll.
Can Nat help?
Yeah, you can give Snargle a dice from your pool.
Question.
Yeah.
I have teeth and claws. Do I have a long claw? I can make a perfect little circle out of the glass on a pop through.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, So one just goes.
Okay.
Goblin, teeth and claws. I don't know if quick or agile will work.
No, maybe quick. I'll give you quick. Yeah.
Otherwise, there's nothing else. But I get another one because of
because Nat gave you one from his pool. That's 5.
5. Let's go 5.
It will say difficulty 3.
I've broken into places before.
You have. All right. So is this like a perfect hole that just?
It is a perfect circle. As he sort of just for a second flicks his hand out and just takes this horribly long nail that just sort of it grows as the same way his body grows up, because he's currently the same height as Kale, and just starts making a perfect circle around.
And is the glass going to go in? It's not going to fall on them.
Oh yeah, it's gonna fall. He's got no control over that.
It crashes down as all of the Blackbird clan looks up.
Snuggle just sort of gives a wave and then grabs Nat and points.
We should probably get down there before, well.
Okay, do you want to go first?
And he sort of starts dragging you towards the hole.
Sure. Yeah, and Nat will just try to drop down.
And as both of you get in, you feel the entire station rumble. Kale, I assume you'd like to get away from the explosion.
I would.
And not walk off into nothing.
Yes.
Cool. So we're gonna make a roll for this. And it's going to be difficulty 6.
Okay. No, it's great. Everything's fine. This is
a
beautiful day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use. Okay, I'm gonna use Tricky. So Tricky, quick, because I'm trying to get there before the explosion happens. Escape.
Yeah.
Acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use Tumbler if I try to do a roll? If I try to jump roll out of the way?
Yeah.
Great. So I use Tumbler, and then I'm going to use 2 successes already off the bat.
All right, so all you're looking for with that is 4. Easy peasy.
Okay, so
Yes.
I'm gonna use my Secret of Reflexes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna re-roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. Oh no, everything is terrible.
So, Kale, as you turn away and you know the exact timing of this spark and how your bombs work, you can't see anything, but you still feel that pull, and it gets stronger in this moment. And you think that you're on the right track, that you're walking along the roof towards your friends. You can hear their footsteps off in the distance. But you feel yourself touch air as you begin to move. And you hear a very small, faraway scream. And it says, "Victor now," as underneath you, where there was only air before, you step onto metal again.
Okie doke. So I step on metal. Is it if I take another step, am I on ship metal? I'm gonna feel around with my foot and kind of figure out the texture.
It's definitely moving. It's not the solid state that you were just on. It seems to be moving, and you hear over the speaker, "Please remain calm," as Victor's voice comes out, and you start moving, still not being able to see anything.
And I'm gonna like because I'm assuming I'm like on him, like
You are on the ship. You are like on the wing of a ship. You're putting together pretty quickly.
Cool. This is the best day. Oh my gosh, I have so much to tell you. Yeah. What's his name? Oh my god, my Captain Vance is gone. He's just gone, right? And so she's just like chattering as she's like clenching on to the edge of the ship, blinking and trying to like will her vision back to clarity. As she's just nervously talking.
The ship begins to move, and Nat and Snargle, you look up over the dome and you see a familiar-looking ship idling with Kaelin gripping onto one of its wings.
Zoe just sort of looks up briefly, confused, and then looks at Nat.
See, she's fine.
Got to unmute myself. Kale, down here.
You're gonna have to be keep talking. Just keep.
Kale. Kale.
Like Snargle sort of realizes what it is.
Yeah.
Over the speakers again, please do not panic, Kaelin. And the ship turns sideways, and you feel yourself start to fall.
This is exciting and exhilarating. I am for it. It's like Kale just like happily tumbles to the yeah. She completely trusts Victor and everything that's happening right now.
Kaelin, your vision starts to return first in spots and then in light, and you can see as the ship straightens out again, Victor's clockwork form, his glowing green eyes, as the ship straightens and moves off back the way you came.
Where are you going? You're gonna help hang out? Okay.
He can't hear you.
I know. I just miss my friend. He's gone now. Oh gosh, where are we? Oh no.
Yes, there are 3 very startled nobles looking at you.
Yeah.
But let's cut over to Art. Hey, it's been a while. How's it? Okay, I'll tell you where you are. You don't know. So you are walking down a long stretch of hallway. Things are getting barer and barer as you move. Everything here seems to be modeled after efficiency. You see several doors that seem to lead into laboratories, and one door that seems to be some kind of holding, and Seraphina stops in front of this one. Your family is in here, Lord Blackbird. Would you like to speak with them? You can see they are unharmed.
Oh, God. Yeah, and this is where meta-knowledge and... Okay. Oh, boy. Yes, I would like to see them.
All right, I think we have a few minutes at least. She checks a pocket watch from her coat, and she opens the door as let's see the timing, as glass shatters to the ground and Snargle and Nat drop into the room. Everyone is frozen. And in this awkward silence that I'm assuming is happening, Kale tumbles in as well.
Okay. Artemis is pulling out that hidden gun, and she's pointing it at getting behind Commander Cross and putting it behind her back.
Well, this is certainly confusing. Art?
It took you long enough.
Well, you were always very good at that. So, should we all have a little chat?
I think we should, Commander Cross.
As they're chatting, or as they're just had this conversation, I'm looking for rope in this room. I want to tie her up.
I think with your gear up thing, you likely have you're more likely to have rope on you than this room is to have rope in it.
Oh, that's true. The secretive concealment. I definitely have rope. And
Yeah. and you definitely see Artemis like look at you, Kaylin, just feel like this is.
oh, and Kale just smiles at you, and kind of grabs Seraphina's arms,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm tying them behind her back.
Okay, as you're moving, there are a dozen Imperial guards with the group. Most of them have their guns trained on Artemis,
Mm-hmm.
who still looks like Nat, or does she look like herself?
She currently still looks like Nat.
All right. And Artemis, since you have the gun to Seraphina, you feel a gun press into your temple from the side as Micah holds his weapon on you.
Really now, Micah.
I think it might be in your best interest if you drop your weapon, Art.
No, the last time I followed your advice, it didn't go so well.
Art? Kaka. As Nat is going to he's gonna say that to Art, and he makes he like sucks in a big breath, and he is going to, in his sort of old-fashioned way, blow people over.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, do it. Do it. Nat, do it.
Okay. So
You know how we do this, we just see how effective it is.
Yep. Nat is going, so 1 Master Sorcerer, Spellcaster, Channeling, Stormblood, Wind. So that's 6. I'm gonna use I'm gonna use the last 3 of my auto successes.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
So 6 dice. So
Right.
3 auto successes and 6 dice.
Yep.
Oh my god.
No.
I am going to I mean, there's not really a failure on spells, but can I use my Secret of Inner Focus?
If you'd like
you're
to
in
use it right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want.
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. That is good, though.
So, one big breath that releases. You notice as you're breathing out, it is much colder than usual. And it's like bowling pins. you just, or dominoes, either one, but all of them, this is 8, Serafina, Micah, the guards, Art, if you don't want to be blown over, you're gonna have to roll, mightily.
Okay. Oh boy, none of her things work.
You rolled 8 successes, so with the 3, so you're gonna have to meet 8.
Yeah, I don't have anything that will help me here.
Okay, so you're good with being rolled over?
Yep,
All right, Micah falls on top of you.
of course he does.
Although I guess he's falling on top of Nat, so it's very awkward.
Oh, well, like, this had probably caused her to drop it because she's getting fucking blown over.
Yeah. All right, we'll say weapons don't go flying very far, but are knocked. Everybody's as you go over. And Nat, how does this affect you?
I mean, it's 8 successes, so
Yeah.
Nat like goes to his knees, wheezing and grabbing his chest, and he hopes that by having said the secret word that someone else will do something at this point.
Yes, your family and we'll say Kale and Snargle were kind of behind you and missed out on this blast.
Mhm.
So let's see. The first person, I can do what I want. The first person who kind of sits up is Serafina, but Snargle and Kale, if you'd like to do something, you are welcome to.
Yeah, I want to tackle her and hit her.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. She's been surprised, but she is more than competent. So, it's finale. It's finale. So, I guess she's been knocked over. 4?
4? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I'm gonna do tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick,
Mm-hmm.
dirty fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Acrobatics.
Uh-huh.
And I'm actually, I'm going to unlock in this moment
Mm-hmm.
dagger.
Oh,
Because I
shit.
will stab her instead.
You gonna stab her?
Yeah. Instead.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use what was the difficulty you said? 2?
4.
4. And I'm gonna use 2 auto successes because here we are.
All right, so you just need to roll a 2.
Cool. Cool.
Oh, was that it?
That was it. I got 5.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Okay, describe this moment to me as Serafina pops up. No weapon in her hand as of yet.
So as the wind happens and the caca battle cry has been done, Kale lunges, like kind of knees first into Serafina Cross as she's on the ground. I'm gonna pin her down with my knee and I'm gonna stab her like straight down in the shoulder to kind of pin her to the ground with my knife.
She doesn't see this coming at all. In fact, as you charge toward her, the shock freezes her. She doesn't even try to get out of your way as you push her down. Use your knee to hold her and stab her.
Mm-hmm.
She barely lets out a cry of pain. That's how frozen she looks as she looks up into your face. She's not speaking, but her free hand reaches up toward your cheek.
And as I'm pressing on the knife, it's in her shoulder. It's not like a kill wound. It's just a shoulder wound. As I'm pressing down, I'm looking her in the eye and I say, "Do you know who I am?"
She nods.
"And you know what you did?" and she's pressing the knife in
Mhm.
more.
This time, Seraphina does kind of try to pull away, though she knows that's the wrong move in this case, and stills herself. She nods again.
And Kale is close, like gets close to her and whispers, "Why?"
Her hand does settle on your cheek, just the kind of tips of her fingers. Because she took you away from me. At this point, Micah and Art will be able to regain themselves at the same time. Micah, because I can do what I want. Micah grabs Art by the hair in an attempt to keep her from getting toward the weapon. He doesn't have a weapon either, but he kind of has you locked in place as he's regaining his footing at the same time as you. What would you like to do?
Micah, if you know what's best for you, let me go.
I'm trying to do what's best for all of us, Art.
What's that?
We're trying to save the blue. What are you doing?
Even the people that I care about safe.
That's gonna get a whole lot more people killed. And he is going to... Nothing for now. Snargle, what you doing?
Well, Snuggle originally was going to follow Kale and then saw that she didn't need any help whatsoever. So he's gradually moving around the side, be sort of out of view if he can, if everyone's distracted, to come up behind Micah.
Sure. Let's see if he's distracted enough. I'll just make this a 3 because he is engaged with Artemis.
Sorry, you want me to roll a 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's probably sneaky related. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one just cause sly, crafty, sneaky, distractions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I'll just go with 5.
Okay.
For now. He's too obvious.
No, that makes it. That just makes it. I was just thinking of all the bad things. So what are you trying to do as you do get the drop on him?
So neither of them have a weapon right now, do they?
No.
No. I do. In fact, I have quite a lot of them. So I think I will have a gun out and I'm just going to jab him in the back with it.
He straightens up.
You back away, please.
Snarkle's not good with this sort of thing.
Right. Because you snuck up on him, he lets Art's hair go, and then because he has no qualms about you, is going to spin around and let's see, and attempt to disarm you, and you are a very tiny goblin, pick you up.
I let him pick me up.
Okay.
Can I roll for something else?
Yeah, what would you like to do?
As soon as he picks me up, I want to just reach out and touch.
Touch what, Alice?
No!
Oh,
No!
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 I know
Alice!
you can hear us.
Alice.
Very
His
dramatic.
head shake. I'm back.
I know. So you reach up and you touch him.
I'm going to touch him on the side of the head, and I want to try and create a hallucination in his mind.
What?
New shit. All right. So we have to roll for this. It's new. We're gonna say 4 successes. What you got?
I have got
One just cause.
dream blood, hallucination, sedate because I want him to sort of go fully out of it and drop down. And I really want this to succeed, so I'm going to use another 3 from my pool.
All right.
I have 7.
1, 2, 3. You're looking for 4.
Okay. Oh yeah.
All right. So with 3, you see this this kind of cloud begin to go over his eyes, and he starts saying art, like he's looking for her.
Snuggle's trying to just reach in and dig really deep to any form of memory and just make him see it.
Well, you have a moment. 3, you needed 4. If you'd like to try again, you can, but you'll need 5.
Okay.
Since you failed by 1, we'll increase it by 1.
But I have a moment, don't I?
You have a moment.
Yeah, I think Snuggle sort of is reaching out and he can feel it's not working. And he's like, Art, do something quick. I don't know how I can do this. He's sort of like gesturing with his head to the gun as this guy's holding him.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Yeah, she had leaned down and scooped up a weapon as soon as she was let go.
Yeah.
And she is going to press it right up against Micah.
As his eyes clear, still holding onto Snargle, he looks over his shoulder at you.
Let him go.
His eyes glance to your left for a moment. And he drops Snargle. And you are going to be shot at by the Imperial Guards standing up behind you. There are many of them. If you would like to avoid this, I'm going to need you to, let's see, this will be difficulty 5 if you want to avoid everything.
Okay. One just because. New bodyguard, awareness, threats.
Yeah.
Defend?
Nah.
God damn it. Delay?
Nah.
No, okay, fuck me. Put the 3 in my pool then.
Okay.
Yep. Let's do that.
So, two beams hit you in the back, causing you again to drop the weapon you've picked up and fall to your knees. You are effectively stunned. Kaelin, you are still on top of Seraphina, but now you see this happening. Snargle, you see it as well. You are dropped in front of Micah, who is turning back towards you.
I have a question.
Yeah, Nat, you are
And
very
Nat's-
winded.
Yeah, Nat is very winded, but I think he's like on his knees, and he can still see what is there within crawling distance. Is there a gun that's dropped?
You were inside the room.
Mhm.
Maybe Seraphina's if you head outside of it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think he like, despite like being fully winded, he would have tried to crawl towards the fray, and right now he is looking for a gun.
As you move, your sister Beatrix comes to your side. She's Natalius.
Not right now, Trix.
As you keep moving, she walks in front of you.
Nat will try to like crawl around.
The gun you're aiming for, she kicks back. Natalius, you need to listen to them.
Trix, I need you to trust me right now.
No, Nat. You need to trust me and tell your friends to stand down before they get themselves killed.
Nat is going to... Oh, God.
Beatrix is leaning down and picking up the gun that she scooted away from you.
Nat. Oh, God, he doesn't want to do this. Nat is going to grab her shin and just try to give her enough of a shock to stun her.
Roll for it.
Oh, God, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt real bad.
I don't even know who's going to hurt more.
So, Master Sorcerer. So 1, Master Sorcerer, Spellcaster, Channeling Stormblood Lightning. I think that's all he's got in him right now, given his current state.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start burning XP yet. So 5. Oh, yeah, that's all he's got in the tank.
She yelps a bit and backs away, but it doesn't stop what she's doing as she takes the gun and swings it and points it at Kaelin is probably the closest in her line of sight, and she very pointedly shifts it from stun. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but you need to listen to them, Natalius.
Why? So I can fix their fuck up?
That is what we must do. Sometimes.
Nat will try to stand up at this point, shakily.
Very difficult. You are effectively barely able to hold your
Yeah.
weight.
He's like, I will fix whatever this is. But I'm doing it under my own power. Give me that gun, Beatrix. Can I use my charm?
Yes, yes. Use your powers of persuasion. Absolutely, you may.
So one, just because charm, charismatic. I don't think I have presence right now. I think I'm like,
Yeah, no.
But command and nobles.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to burn 3 XP.
So 8.
So 8. And what's the difficulty?
I mean, 4?
Okay. Come on, roll 20. Oh.
She looks at you. Your kind of twin gray eyes meeting each other as she touches the streak through her own hair and switches the gun back to stun and lowers it. According to the commander, we don't have much time.
Commander, I would like my friends unharmed, or I will blow this whole whatever this is up and myself with it. You need me. So don't fuck with me.
From the ground, she gives the slightest of nods. Are you going to let her up, Kaylin?
Kaylin is trembling and she feels this. At first it was adrenaline that drove her there and drove the knife into her shoulder. And now the adrenaline is starting to fade and she's sort of hit with this wave of sadness and uncomfortableness. And she takes the dagger out of her shoulder and then she backs up from Seraphina.
Seraphina makes her way to her feet, eyes staying on Kale. Again, that shock really does not seem to have left, but she slowly turns toward Natalius as she holds the wound in her shoulder. Well, if you would all follow me.
Where are we going?
To see Uriah Flint.
Noticeable intake of breath from Nat. But he'll look to Art first. And I think he try like as Kale backs up, he'll like grasp onto Kale's shoulder as he's like barely standing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Art, are you okay?
Yeah, she's probably starting to stand up. She hadn't, even as she had been on her knees, and there were like 2 holes now in Nat's jacket. She's just watching very intently, and just her look just says that like she's trusting you with this right now, and she's just gonna support you.
And Serafina will begin moving down the hall, not fast at all, just trying to hold herself together. As all of you move on. Back on top of the station, Vance, in this moment after you've given Gwen a choice, you hear the explosion that rocks the area. You see the familiar ship pass nearby. But all that those on top of the station can really see are each other now. She's still there with that tension and the gun drawn on you. The man behind you, though you aren't looking at him, seems to, at least we would see that he has lost some confidence. As that explosion rocks, he begins to open a panel near him on a hatch that he rose up on, although it doesn't seem to be working, as you hear a few muttered curses behind you, but Gwen is just focused on you.
As soon as he would hear off to his right doing something, he would pull his gun out and just level it at the man. So he's going to keep his gun out. He's not going to point it at Gwen at all. Gwen, you don't have to listen to anyone anymore. Not me. Not him. You gotta listen inside. Listen for that voice of your mama. Whatever it tells you to do. Shoot me. Shoot him. Your life is your own.
It's been so long since I could dance. And the gun drops from her hand. The tension is still there, and she begins to move her other hand toward her right. She's still looking at you, and you see that kind of bead that goes down connected to the wiring.
How do I help you?
Patty, I learned a long time ago from you that sometimes you have to help yourself. And she uses her nails to claw into her hand. And she starts to pull the bead out. You can see, much like Art was talking about, it's embedded into her, and as she pulls it, she grits her teeth and screams, but her eyes, there's a look of relief as she keeps doing it, but you can see blood falling and almost getting whipped into the air as she pulls and pulls and pulls, and there's still this mass of wire coming out.
He puts his hand out much like it would be to offer to dance, but he's going to grab the wire if she'll allow it and pull. And he's going to never takes his eyes from her. This is your dance to lead. And he just starts pulling.
She stands for as long as she can until the very end. Another kind of bead of crystal comes out. Her arm, you can see even under the coat she's wearing, is just a mass of blood. And she collapses into you, still hanging on to consciousness, but kind of almost rocking, swaying in your arms.
Can I help her?
Sure, how would you like to help her?
Because with my very last level up before the end of the season, I took medic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. This is a grievous wound, as you can tell. We can make this not necessarily a difficulty level, but rather degrees of success, and how soon. So go ahead and make a roll using whatever you'd like.
Well, benevolent and kind GM.
Uh-huh.
This is how Cyrus Vance, Captain of the Owl, would do it.
Mm-hmm.
My good buddy Captain Douchebag over there
Yeah.
is a far better medical practitioner than I.
Mm-hmm.
And so Vance would turn to him. You're going to help my daughter if you want to live. And I am going to use just because survivor, tough, creepy stare, intimidate, medic, so I know if he's doing it right.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm also going to use my secret of leadership, my secret of experience, which means once per time I can do 2 stacks of my stuff.
Yep.
Ex-Imperial Soldier, Command, rank, and tactics, because making your enemy do something for you is the #1 tactic in warfare.
Love it. Let's do it.
What's my...
Since you're doing it this way, a 4. Let's go with 4. It's a nice number.
Okay, I had 1, 2... 8, 9, 10... And how many successes? I have 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll the 10 plus the 4 from my pool for 14.
Okay, you're using XP to get those 4 back.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. This man who seemingly is having difficulty with what he thought was a pretty foolproof escape plan, makes his way to standing, looks at Gwen, and there's no kind of like joy or malice at seeing her in this state. He looks upset and will lower the shield around the hatch and gesture for you. I can't do anything for her here.
We'll carry her towards the hatch.
All right. As you step onto the hatch, he finishes what he was doing at the panel and you begin to lower. As you do, you see from down the hall, there's smoke. There seems to be chaos coming from one way, but you are in a lab. And he will do exactly as you say.
I assume it probably takes the amount of time it does to blow a bunch of Imperial soldiers over and then...
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this guy's done. How is Gwen?
Gwen is floating kind of in and out of consciousness, but he has obviously stopped the bleeding and done what he can in the short term so that she will not succumb to the wounds.
While this was going on, keeping his eye on the doctor, he was fashioning sheets and nylon, whatever he could find, rigging up a sling so he could fit Gwen into it and kind of tether her to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to do that now. That's in case they would have to fly.
Mm-hmm.
But he's done all he can for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in and out of consciousness?
Yeah, she's mostly in right now.
He will take the doctor, motion him towards a corner.
He will go.
Maroof, you said something about my wife.
Her death was an unfortunate accident.
I shoot him in the knee. My God! An unfortunate accident. I said you could live. I didn't say you could dance.
He is on the ground screaming in pain. Gwen looks over her shoulder, but she makes no move. Just stares.
He just motions. Said I was a bad dancer. And then he walks over. Shall we go?
Where are we going to go?
To find home. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out the ballet slipper. You are my daughter. That never stopped. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small screwdriver. And I have another daughter. Her name is Kale. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a little square that looks like a license. And it bears the name of Snargle Vance. And I have a brother. And he reaches in and he pulls out a piece of sheet music that had been scribbled and discarded. And like you, my dear, I have found my son. Maybe something else. We'll all find a home. He just offers his hand.
She takes it and makes her way slowly to standing. They know where they are.
Well, you lead.
She keeps her hand clasped around yours as she slowly makes her way out of the lab and down a corridor. And in a large room with a crystal or glass, it could be a table or even a bed at the center. The crew of the Owl, the whole family, is together. Seraphina, Micah, several guards are there too. Snargle, Vance, Art, Nat, Cyrus, and Gwen. And on this crystal table, the only light in the room, lies one Uriah Flint. Nat, you can see he's, like in your vision, haggard, exhausted looking. But he opens his eyes when you step in the room.
Nat will sort of like not push but push off Kale, like trying to stumble forward to Uriah.
Mm-hmm.
And so Uriah's like laying down.
Mm-hmm. He looks like he's you can see some kind of bindings had been affixed, although they have recently been removed, it looks like, and he's kind of splayed there.
If Nat can get to the table,
mm-hmm.
Nat will grab his collar of his shirt and he will kiss him.
As you do, Uriah's eyes open the full way, and you see that fire is still dancing there. And he almost laughs as you kiss him out of surprise. And then he tries to push you away.
It's not hard.
You notice he is very weak,
Mm-hmm.
like even in the state that you're in.
Long time no see.
Yes, it is. His voice is like a rasp, a whisper. I told her to tell you not to come.
There was probably a time in my life that I wouldn't have. But I'm done taking a back seat in my life.
This is not how I pictured our reunion.
Me neither. No, that's certainly not the case. What the hell is going on, Uriah?
They've been trying to use me to help her. And he gestures to a doorway. Beyond it, you just see darkness. I guess this thing is connected somehow to her. And it worked for a little. But I don't think I'm as strong as you.
You've held out this long. You're pretty strong. What do I need to do?
From behind you, Seraphina walks forward. We thought someone as powerful as Uriah could recharge her. But it has not worked. Recently, we thought, well, something that was only rumor, something and she looks over her shoulder at Kale. Something my sister thought of a long time ago might be true. That she was a being that she could be replaced. And we needed someone strong enough to do it.
That's what all of this is about. everyone gets to leave. Free. All charges and crimes dropped against them.
Of course.
Can I have a moment with everyone?
She nods.
Well, you all heard the commander.
But there has to be another way. I mean, that's not all what it's not all what she wrote. I mean, if it's sentient, we can maybe talk to them, or there has to be some way that doesn't cause you to just turn into a star, Nat. We won't let you. I won't let you sacrifice yourself for what, to clear my record? No.
If you have any other ideas, I'm all ears.
I do.
Captain?
The owl. She was dead. We didn't have any fuel. You brought her back. You didn't become the owl. You didn't become the engine. You didn't become the fuel. You brought her back. What's a star but just a big engine?
I could try. If that fails,
Try something else.
I don't know if I'll have enough left in me at that point.
You can use
But all
what I
of us
got.
are all of us are here.
Maybe they have something in this lab that will help, too. Like we did last time. Help you channel that energy so it's more concentrated and ideally will cost less to you.
They've had Uriah hooked up to this thing for who knows how long.
They've tried others before. One at a time for I don't know how long.
Out of curiosity, any nobles? Before, of course, Lord Blackbird.
Seraphina. There may have been one or two. But
There's
no
no
one.
So there's no guarantee, anyway.
We have not tried anyone with the capabilities that Lord Blackbird has.
But there's no guarantee.
No, but if we do nothing, everyone dies.
Can we try the captain's idea first? If it does not work, I promise you I will do what you originally wanted. Same conditions apply, though.
What was this brilliant idea again?
Well, it wasn't wait around for somebody else to solve my problems. That was your brilliant idea. Build a great big base and wait for someone else to save the universe after dragging their boyfriend to this place to lure them here by tricking their best friend into driving them here. No, that was your brilliant plan. We have one that's going to work.
Then please.
So, Kale thinks about the book and thinks about that there might be a way to contact Stella. If we're recharging her, there should be some place where she exists. And I want to use my knowledge of that and see if I can make contact. Is there anything in the book that would help me figure out how to do that? I can do... Oh my gosh, my Zoom is being weird.
Kale, as you're reading through the pages, you don't see much more information, but as you light on her name, the several times it's written, you feel a desire to move toward this kind of crystal table.
Mm-hmm.
You know that from what Uriah has said and the others have said, that is connected to her.
Okay. So Kale puts her hands gently down on the crystal table. She closes her eyes and says, "Here, Nat, you have to direct your energy right here. It'll reach her."
Nat will Nat will grin at everyone. And look at the captain. Gonna try my best, Captain.
It's an order.
Art, can you help me over?
Of course.
Before you even get over there, as Kale is there and Art comes with you, and Uriah is still there, you see, without any of you even touching it, it begins to glow. That silvery white light you're so used to seeing. And Nat, you hear almost in a string, like messages that haven't gone through until they've all gone through at once. Is anyone there? It's me, again. Can you hear me, Nat?
I'm here, Stella.
She keeps talking like she can't hear you, or at least it's not in real time. Kale? Snargle? Art? Jack? Gwen? Is anyone out there? I think I'm dying. I always thought I'd be scared of dying because I was scared of the loneliness for so long. But I think I'm more scared of what will happen to all of you if I go. I've been here so long, and as she keeps talking, all of you start to hear this. Those of you closer to the crystal, you can hear it louder. I don't remember what I was before this, but I've liked watching what all of you become. I hope this reaches you wherever you are. Hope you are safe and warm. I hope you are with your family. I can't remember mine. If I could wish upon a star, I think that's what I'd wish for. And this line, if that's what it is, goes dead. The crystal is still glowing as Nat, Art, Kaelin, and Uriah are close to it. Gwen is looking at you, Cyrus, to see if you've heard this too.
I heard it. I heard it.
Gwen starts to move toward the others, keeping her hand clasped with yours.
He goes.
And as you join those around it, the crystal glows brighter and brighter.
Vance reaches over and takes Snargle's hand.
He sort of hesitates at first, but then takes it and allows himself to be led.
Oh. Perhaps we can all help Stella.
I'd like that. I'd like that very much.
I don't know what I can do, but I'll try.
Remind her family that she is not alone.
I can do that.
Let her know there's more to the story, Nat.
I think as everyone sort of gathers around, Nat will touch the crystal table.
Kaylin touches the crystal table.
Gwen reaches out.
Jack Brannigan touches the crystal table.
Snargle sort of weaves in between, just reaches out as close as he can to touch the table.
Aramis will put her hand on the table and lean in to Nat. I'm proud of you.
Thanks for being my friend, Art.
Uriah kind of sidles in weakly, kind of leaning on Nat's shoulder and lays his hand on top of Nat's. Artemis, what do you think of when you think of family?
I think of the moments on the owl where she was finally able to connect with each of them. Perhaps the conversation with Snargle, trying to help Kaylin bake a cake, but it didn't work out so well. Dancing with Cyrus to a faint song in the mess hall. And to Nat, her best friend, her little brother, her family.
Snargle.
The Snargle, the owl, and its contents is absolutely everything. That includes the people. And it's something I'm not quite sure I deserve it, as he sort of says it to himself. He's not sure what he did to deserve it. He still questions if it's real, if he's kidding himself a lot of the time. But the little moments where he can hear Nat playing the music, and he'll always follow his nose to the kitchen when Kel's cooking. He's still not sure if Artemis likes him, even though they have conversations that he thinks are okay. And just probably the glances from Vance to tell him he's doing a good job. It's that security of, you belong here. And he, as much as he worries or thinks it's ridiculous, some of the shenanigans that they get up to, he thrives on them. Absolutely thrives on them. And loves those moments, even when it's just him and the owl and everyone's asleep. And he knows every single part of it. And will take a swig of apple juice from his hip flask when everyone else thinks it's full of whiskey. And he goes around at night and tops up all the bottles just in case they go looking for a drink in the evening.
Art, as you're standing there focused, you can hear Nat's music. It's comforting, like a hum. You don't hear it with your ears. Snargle, you can taste apple juice in your mouth and smell baking from somewhere. And both of you can... It's like a comfort. It's like a blanket, almost. As Snargle, you begin to hear the music, too.
He can't help but hum along. He thinks he's quiet, he's not.
And so does Art.
Cyrus, what are you thinking of?
What is Cyrus Vance, Jack Brannigan, thinking of when he thinks of family? He doesn't have to think, he can see. He looks at Gwen, he sees a daughter found. He looks at Kale and he sees a daughter. He looks at Snargle and he sees a brother. He looks at Nat and he sees a son. And he looks at Art. He sees someone he loves. That's family.
And the music now reaches your ears to your mind. And though only Gwen is leaning on you, you can feel the others, like you're even closer than you physically are. Kaylin, what do you think of when you think of family?
So for Kaylin, she's thinking about how family isn't ever blood. It's the people who you choose and that love you no matter what. And it's the silence and being with each other in that silence. It's the laughter coming from the mess hall when it's way too late and we all need to be up early in the next day. And she looks around and she realizes that home is never a place. It's a concept. Your family is your home. And her home is the owl.
You two hear the music, and where your sight had gone before, it's like you're seeing everything in these vibrant hues, and you can see the lights from the engine of the owl as if they're coming from inside this crystal in front of you, moving in the same disco ball pattern. And Nat,
Nat thinks of love, of the love for a best friend, love for a sister, and a love of new family, the kind of love where you would do anything for them. And I think he looks at Uriah and thinks of love for the person that you're meant to be with. And I think he has a thought for Stella at this time. And he thinks to Stella, you've been caring for everyone. In this little, this place of ours. If you need it, you can have my power. It'll do you more good than me.
Nat. On the other side of this table, there's a small silvery girl looking at you. There are tears streaming down her face. Hi, Nat.
Hi, Stella.
I don't need your powers. I just needed a reason to live. And I think you all gave me one. I want to see what my family does next. And the silver in her hair and the silver in her eyes burst into gold, as does her whole body. All of you in the station where you're standing are rocked back as light flares from the windows that you can see out of. And it's not the silver, it's not the cold, dim light that Stella's always radiated for as long as all of you have been alive. But it's gold and it's warm. And the wall in front of you with the closed doors that seem to lead into darkness is blasted away. Uriah moves his arm in front of Nat as this entire front of this structure falls. And all of you look out into the blue at a warm gold star. Everybody is silent. Seraphina is staring and she drops to her knees. Micah next to her. Gwen is smiling and kind of leans back on her father. What would you all like to do?
I think Snargle, still holding Vance's hand, sort of looks to all of them, looks to Kale, looks to Vance, glances over at Gwen as if he recognizes her.
She kind of looks at you too.
Just,
Can we go home now?
We all can. We all can.
Uriah kind of looks around at all of you. I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I am home. And he just grips Nat's shoulder.
Nat will sort of put an arm around his waist.
We're both so weak. Hope we don't have far to go.
Artemis definitely does a thing of like kind of just like narrow her eyes at Uriah. But she'll.
I'm usually stronger than this.
Right, I know that. I've heard much.
Oh, so you've heard of me.
Way too much. Nat,
What
shall
did you
we?
say?
Vance
Art.
is... I'm sorry.
I think Nat will say, Art. I know that you were hired by my house, but I was wondering if you'd like to come with us, because, well, I think I'm done with that.
Well, I think I would consider saving the world, pay off my debts. So, if you would like me by your side, Nat, I will be there.
By the way, this is Uriah Flint.
Yeah.
Pirate King
Yeah.
Uriah Flint, everyone.
Yeah. I've heard lots of songs about you, Mr. Flint.
That's very exciting. I didn't know there were songs about me. Well, I always assumed there were songs about me, but it's good to know.
I wouldn't tell him that. He's already got a pretty big ego.
Yeah, Art like barely disguises herself, rolling her eyes at this. It's
As Kale turns to walk back, she looks at Seraphina and says, "What will you do now? The problem's fixed, right?"
She's on her knees, but she looks up to you. I will try to ensure that we don't make the same mistakes again.
Kale nods. She puts her hand on Seraphina's shoulder, looks at her, and walks forward.
Vance is going to pull his daughter close as he and Gwen share a moment, and then he will go to Snargle and hug his brother with everything he has. He will go to Kale. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he hugs back, and you can actually feel almost like the awkwardness relax and sort of pat you on the back as he slowly starts to shrink back to his normal size.
He immediately, if Snargle reacts in any way, he knows not to hold it too long. And then he'll go over to Kale, and in the same way that he hugged Gwen, he will hug her. And just look at her and nod.
And as you hug Kale, you can tell, like, when you first hugged her, she was very tense, but then she completely relaxes and accepts, like, your hug because she feels comforted and okay.
He just nods. And then he goes over to Nat and Uriah Flint, pulling both men into a hug if they will allow it.
Oh, this is unexpected, but nice.
Shh. You're not captain here, Mr. Flint. And he whispers into Nat's ear, "Good job, son." And he pulls away. And with the same just look in his eyes and nodding at Nat, he walks over to Art and extends his hand to Dance.
She'll give him a large, genuine smile. And we'll take it.
Dance is getting too old for this shit. So, you're gonna have to lead. And when the moment's right, I don't believe Gwen will interrupt us this time. He would like to kiss Art.
And Art will kiss back.
He takes his hands away from where you'd been leading him, moves them up to the sides of your face. And though he had never noticed it before, when your eyes meet like they did with Kale and with Nat and with Snargle, he sees the eyes of his wife. And he nods. And as he steps back, he turns to Serafina and says, "And I want that fucking robot, Victor. He was cool." And he starts walking back towards the owl.
Kale's like, yeah, and then just walks back.
Off we go. And starts to lead away.
Before Nat starts walking back, he puts his hand back on the pedestal one more time, and he asks, "Are you going to be okay, Stella?"
I think so. But I think I'd like a new name. Why don't you think of one for me?
Are you asking me right now?
No. Take the pressure off.
Well, I think I know how to get in touch with you when I know what to call you. I'll just play some music.
And the crew of the Owl returns to their ship and dances their way into their next adventure. And that's where we're going to end Wild Blue Yonder. Okay, who gets to start? Yeah, who gets to start? Oh boy, it's Tommy. Because it always is. Hi, Tommy.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
Oh, man, that was a finale. I am emotionally exhausted, Lauren. Satisfied, but exhausted.
Sated. Yeah, nice.
But that was amazing. That was such a great ending. I got my smooch. Although I made sure Nat took his smooch. I wasn't waiting around.
That's all I wanted for you, you know?
I was like, if I don't take it now, you won't let me have it in the future.
Yep,
So,
that's me. Anti-smooch.
But I loved everyone's scenes in this, and I really, hope to look forward to see what we all do next. I would like to say I apologize for everyone for not thinking up a name on a spot, but names are important. Names are very important. So I'd like to think about it for a moment. Names are very important. But yeah, I am Imperator Pengu on the Twitter sphere. I do tabletop RPG stuff and occasionally video game stuff with friends. If you follow me on Twitter, I have a postie which is getting updated this week because we've got a bunch of new seasons kicking off in the next couple weeks. So my schedule's changing a bit. But keep an eye out for that. I'll always post a schedule that says when and where I'll be. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next adventure.
Yay. Kiana.
Oh man. This was amazing from everybody, from everything. Beautiful fucking finale. But hopefully this will just be a season finale, and we're just gonna put the adventures on pause, and we'll come back to them in the blue. I got my smooch, so that was hell yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I love all these characters. I love all these people. I'm super, super grateful to tell this little story about family with them. Yeah. Before I start crying more, let me plug my shit. I'm over on Twitter at KennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing because I'm over the internet playing role-playing games almost every day of the week. I'm part of the team here over on Tales from the Grim. I'm on a couple shows, including what's coming up next with this Monday slot in between Wild Blue Yonder seasons. Come hang out with us in the Discord and chat with us there because we love hearing from you guys. And we'll see you in the blue later, everybody.
Alice.
Lauren, it's done. It's over. And it's our last game.
We've been playing together nonstop for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Not a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah. This is the first time since meeting we're not going to be in a game. I don't like it. No, nor do I.
We gotta fix it.
Yeah, we do. We'll find a way.
Okay, we'll fix it. It's
We'll
fine.
work it out.
Denial.
Complete denial. This is one of my favorite games to date. I love it. I love the crew. I love the players. I love the characters. I feel at some point on the owl afterwards it's gonna click for Snargle who Gwen is, and that he has met her, and he's gonna suddenly panic and be like, Kale, we need to just hide me for a bit because I have embarrassed myself in front of this person. And we'll probably hide for a little bit, maybe tweaking his appearance here and there. Maybe tell her George is short for Snargle. I don't know. But I love this game so much. I love this little family. It's made my weeks better. So thank you so much. And I really don't want to leave it here. So thank you. And Lauren, such a good DM. I'm going to miss it.
That's my very mature response.
It's the same I gave you. So.
Serena, don't make me cry.
Oh gosh, no promises.
Okay, don't make me cry.
No, I can't believe it's over. 1 and 2. This is my first stream or remote game. Every time I do a show or live with people, and it's a different type of energy. And so going into this, I was really scared. I didn't know a lot of you very well. I knew some of you very well through Gen Con meeting and internet happenings, but this game means a lot to me, and I felt very welcomed. So thank you for welcoming me into your I know I'm crying. Cool. Everything's fine. Your gaming circle, and you can find me on Twitter at Serena X Marie, or on the show The Dungeon Rats. We're a improv D&D show. We take audience suggestions and we weave them into our story. It's very silly and very funny. We're a podcast. It's pretty cool.
Keeping it together. Keeping it together. I'll cry at the end. Greg, you cry now. He won't cry. He's fine.
I had a fantastic time this season. I've said it before and I'll say it again just so it sticks. I looked forward to this show from the moment it ended up until the moment we started playing. I devoted every second that we were flying in the blue to being there in that moment of this space, because this story was fantastic. The characters were fantastic, but the players that portrayed them even more so. Brought and woven together by a masterful GM that was able to tell a fantastic fairy tale-esque story set in space that had equal parts Firefly and Stardust and just fantastic elements that it's what I live for as both a reader and a teller of tales myself. I enjoyed it to no end. I will miss it, but as we said in Highlander yesterday, actually, we have the luxury, all of us, Legion, players, GMs, we tell tales and we can go back and watch them from the middle, the beginning, watch the end. And this is one that I will go back and watch and live and play and dance and see all of these characters again, hear the story again, listen to the magic again and again. I absolutely loved this game. It is, to date, one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. And the characters that surrounded me are my favorite ones I've ever played with. And it's fantastic. And Legion, as always, thank you. Back to you, Lauren.
Stone cold emotional. This game has been very near and dear to my heart. It's probably the first time I've loved and looked forward to GMing, because I was always intimidated being surrounded by such excellent storytellers. But really my favorite part was just hanging out with these people and watching them do what they do and create characters that they loved and I loved, and just getting to hang out with people that I consider my family every Monday. Anyway, hi, yes, I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on Twitter. I'm super professional. Other things. Oh God, so many things are ending. I play in a game tomorrow night on Off the Table. It's cool. On Thursday, zombies here in the Fall of Faerun at 7 Eastern. And oh God, that might be it. Oh, right, I should announce what we're going to do. We are planning on coming back for Wobbly Yonder Season 2, hopefully in the summer when our schedules all can align again, so we can continue this fantastic tale, or do whatever these guys want. I'll do whatever they want. Whatever they want. But until then, we will be coming back in May for a campaign of Urban Shadows, powered by the Apocalypse system that I'm really excited. I love playing it on Off the Table, and I'm super excited to run it. The campaign's called Bad Moon Rising, because why not? But we'll have more info about that soon. Yeah, that's it for me. I am having a lot of emotions in my body, and I'm very sparkly. That sums me up so well. Greg, take us out of here immediately.
I shall. And just so everybody knows, we do have a lot of fun things coming up, a lot of community events that will be popping up on the channel in April, which is kind of a transition month for us. So please follow us on Discord and become part of the fun. The show Fall of Faerun on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern is a community event, and you can see upwards of 25 of the Legionnaires as they battle through death and zombies, and it's fun though. Well, it's all in good fun. It's not as fun as this as far as happy. Well, it's happy for me. I'm the DM. Anyway, what I thought we would end with here, everyone, for both myself, because I'm selfish, all of my players, my GM, and of course the Legion, one final bravo to Tommy, who put this video together, because I'm not leaving until I leave with the video. So we're going into the intro one last time for now. But remember, watch the owl, check out the characters, and if those wheels and wings turn and fly the right way, upon the blue we will sail again. Until next time, Legion.